Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be making these lovely masks. I'm sure everyone wants one, is looking for one, or needs one right now. So this is the perfect time for you to learn how to do these masks. So the tools that you will need for this project is some cotton fabric. I want to use something natural so you can breathe through the mask, or as much as possible, try and do something or get something with natural fibers in it for the fabric. Scissors, thread, pencil or something to write with, ruler, and some elastic. You guys can go ahead and get all these tools together before you start the mask making. You also need a sewing machine. Sorry to just bring that up right now, but you need a sewing machine. So for each mask, the measurement that you'll be using is 9 inches by 6 inches. So it's pretty much just a rectangle. You need 2 pieces of those, and then you would also need some elastic, and the measurement for that is 7 inches. So you need 2 pieces of elastic 7 inches long. All right, so for this one, we're gonna be doing the lines on the fabric. Before you cut it out, I just want to explain the reason why we're doing it in 2 different directions. So we're cutting the fabric from salvage to salvage, and then we're doing it the opposite way because we want the fibers to crisscross each other when we lay it on top of each other, and gives us a little bit more protection. That's the reason why we're cutting the fabric in 2 different fabric directions. All right, so if you can see, I had cut or made a pattern with the strips going this way and then going this way also. So now I'm just gonna cut this out, and then I'll show you how to place the notches and what the measurements are for that. All right, so after you cut everything out, don't forget to leave it in 2 different piles. We're gonna call this one pile A and pile B. Okay guys, so we are going to be doing the notches on the 2 sides, and that's creating these pleats here. Notches are little tiny clips into the fabric, so you can make markings where to start and begin things while you're sewing. All right, so we're gonna grab a 1 piece from pile A and 1 piece from pile B, and we can put these together to make the markings for it. All right, so the notches, when you make it in the fabric, you're gonna do it really small. So it's gonna be about like 1/4 of an inch into the fabric. You don't wanna do too big of a notch because it'll be in the sewing line. So you wanna keep it as small as possible. So the first measurement is 1 inch from the bottom. Then you mark another inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inch, and then another inch. So that's the markings for the notches. And what you do is you're gonna just clip into it, like I said, about like 1/4 of an inch in. And then you're gonna mimic and do the same thing on the other side. There you go. And now you're ready for sewing when you have your 2 pieces of elastic and you have your fabric all set. Now you're ready to move to the sewing machine. All right, so we are here at the sewing machine. We are gonna be putting this together. We just have to do the pleats first. So the notches that we cut on the fabric are markers for our pleats. So the first notch is gonna go up to the second notch, which is 1 inch apart. And then like magic, I'll have pins in my hand. And then the next notch, you're gonna leave 1/2 an inch in between, and then you're gonna match up 1 more. So notch to notch, 1 inch notches apart. And then match the other one. So what you're doing is you're making 3 pleats on each side. But pleats are basically fabric folds that help shape your body or your face. If you guys have any questions too, just comment below, and then I'll go ahead and answer those questions if you guys need help. So I'm gonna do the other side of the mask. And what you wanna make sure is the pleats are in the same direction on both sides. So if I am folding up this way, we want to make sure the same thing is matching on this side. Then we're going to do this on both pieces of the fabric. All right, so we have both pieces pinned with the pleats on the side. Now on one side of the mask, we are going to lay our elastic out. This way is easier, or you can do it while you're sewing too. I'll show you two different ways. The first side, I'm just gonna pin the elastic where it needs to go. So it's gonna go 1/4 of an inch in here and 1/4 of an inch here. Okay, so we lay the other side on top. Make sure the directions of the pleats are going the same way on both sides. For those of you who know how to sew already, this is like we're sewing like a pillow and we have to turn it inside out. So we have to leave a little tiny hole right on the top. So it's about like 2 inches you're gonna wanna not sew so you can flip the mask inside out. So you're gonna sew around it with 1/4 of an inch seam allowance around the whole mask. Be careful when you're sewing over the pins because it can break your needle. So I always pull out the needles before I sew over them. Now to stop and get to this point here, what you do is you just walk your needle over, leave the needle down in the fabric, and this is how you just turn the corners. So that's how you create like a nice crisp corner, is you leave the needle down and just turn the fabric. You want to make sure that you're checking underneath too, that you're not catching the elastic piece here in the seam allowance as you're sewing. All right, so the second way that you can put the elastic in here is to go ahead and sew to the corner, leaving your foot down. Then you're gonna open this up a little bit. And you're gonna input your elastic right at the edge. All right, then remember to leave that opening here at the top about 2 inches wide, so you can flip your mask inside out. All right, and there we go. You wanna make sure that you back stitch also on the 2 ends so it doesn't unravel while you're flipping it inside out. Then you're gonna cut the corners of your mask to make it easier and a nicer clean angle when you flip it inside out. Then you flip your mask inside out. Now when you pull in the 2 elastic bands, it should help you bring out the corners of the mask. And there you go. You have the mask already made here. You can stop at this point and just close up the top here where you turned the mask inside out. Or you can top stitch around the whole mask here to make it a little bit more secure. Now when I top stitch, I'm gonna use about 1/4 of an inch top stitch around the mask. And when I say top stitches, you're basically sewing on top of the fabric and leaving that stitch line on top of it. And just like that, you have your mask. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to create the face mask, the fabric face mask. So a couple things to remember is to make sure that you're constantly washing your hands, staying inside as much as possible. These masks are just for emergency purposes if they don't have any. And you don't need to wear a mask if you are not sick. So we want to leave the filtered ones for the nurses, the doctors that really need, the medical professionals that really need this right now. This is just a secondary for us to use. It's better than not having a mask, so just know that when doing this, it is helping out with a lot of the medical professionals who don't have masks. There is a website also where you can create these masks and you can sew a bunch if you have a lot of downtime during quarantine time to give away and to give to the hospitals. They will wash it and sterilize it before they use it, but these can be reused again. That's why you want to use a more sturdier fabric, like a cotton or something that's woven a little bit more sturdy, because you want to be able to wash these and reuse them again. So just keep that in mind when looking for your fabric. And you want to get fabric that's very breathable. This is going over your face and your nose, your mouth, so you want to have a fabric that you can breathe through still. This is not to suffocate you. This is so you can breathe comfortably also. These masks are also good for people who touch their face a lot or who constantly feel the need of putting their hands near their mouth. So this is a good blocker for people who really touch their face. Remember to wash your hands. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. We'll be making more of these tutorial videos for you guys to do during the 15-day quarantine period, just to keep you guys busy, and you guys can do this with your kids, or you can do it to kind of zen out and relax a little bit. So hope you guys had fun, hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you guys next time.